Skeeter, bring it here. I'll throw it for you. Bring it here. Bring it here. Good boy. All right, so I'm here behind the cabin. I have all the plumbing done for our gray water. So it's the drain pipe for our sink and shower. And so all the way to here is done. I just need to trench this underground now and glue the pipes together, but make sure I have downflow, of course. And then I'll dig a big hole at where this ends, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do there. But I still need to put skirting all the way around the cabin, so I need to make sure I dig this deep enough so that this doesn't affect our skirting. Skeeter, are you laying in my trench? All right, Sierra's running some water down the sink, a few gallons of water. Skeeter, get out of my hole, man. You better get out of the way, Skeeter. You better look out, I hear it coming. Excellent, we have good drainage. Skeeter, get out of there, bud. That's what we like to see. So this is my homemade biochamber. You guys saw Boss of the Swamp do this. I'm going to put a link to his video and pin it so it'll be the top comment that you guys see in the comment section. But this is just a 55-gallon plastic barrel that's cut in half and then laid in there like so. I did dig this deeper. I just have these laid in there right now just to make sure my hole was wide enough. But I did dig them deeper so that when the water drains into the pit, that the pit is below the frost line. The pipe isn't below the frost line because the water will be flowing, so it doesn't need to be, so it won't freeze in there, but the barrels are below the frost line. And this is just the first barrel. I wanted to test it one more time before I laid the second barrel in there and backfilled it, just to make 100% sure it works. And it looks like it works pretty slick. I don't want to be dealing with freezing pipes during the winter. When I was filling up the wood shed in my last video, a lot of people were like wondering why I put the wood right on the ground. Like, don't I know that's going to rot? It's not on the ground. I have tar paper underneath and then dunnage. So there's tar paper directly on the ground, and then it's up about 1.5 inches. So it's up off the ground. So Skeeter and I are back on our 10 acres here and looking for a place to put up a trail camera because deer season starts in a month. Well, bow season does, a month from today. So we found a pretty good deer trail right here. And there's an intersection up here as well and some fresh deer poop. So I think we're gonna set up a trail camera right there. That'll be a good spot for it. And I am hunting with a recurve bow this year, so it's a little more challenging. I need to be pretty close proximity, but this will be a good spot if we're getting pictures of deer. But I don't want to put a ton of work into this spot right now. I want to wait and see what we catch on the trail camera. And if we're having good luck, then I'll cut some more shooting lanes and kind of thin it out in here, but I don't want to put a ton of work into it. I want to make sure there's deer around here first. And if that spot doesn't pay off, then we'll try somewhere else. We're in the national forest, so there's endless land to hunt around here. We also might have had something try to get in the chicken coop last night. I was sitting on the couch and I heard all kinds of commotion from the chicken coop. They were all squawking. So Skeeter and I ran outside and went over there, and Skeeter had his hair was standing up and he was woofing. So there was definitely something there that he didn't like. But never had any more problems the rest of the night. But like I said, it's nice having Skeeter around. He's got a really good sniffer on him. He's a once-in-a-lifetime dog. I mean, we got really lucky with him. He's good at a lot of things, but he's kind of our predator alarm around here, and he does good at it. Lets us know if anything's around. But I looked all around there and didn't see any tracks, but the ground's so dry that it's pretty hard to tell anyways. But whatever it was, I'm guessing it was probably a fox or something. Kicked Skeeter's ball for him. normally we use pine shavings for their bedding. That's what they've had since they were chicks, but I'm gonna try this straw and see if they like it. Hi chickens. Well, they seem to like the straw. And we definitely have 2 chickens laying because we've gotten 2 eggs today. And you can see this one, you can tell that they're ready to lay by how red their wattles are on their forehead and neck there. You can see that one's, this chicken here, hers are really red. So, and there's 2 of them that have pretty red wattles. That's another one right there. And then you see like this one here, it's not very red yet. So I think it's these 2 that are right next to each other that are the ones laying. A lot of people are worried from my last video that the chickens are going to freeze to death this winter. First of all, we would never let that happen. And they're worried about the eggs in these nesting boxes, that those are going to freeze. We're not going to let that happen either. This coop is going to be insulated, and there will be a heat source in here before winter. This is a pretty small area to heat up, so I think those buckets are going to receive enough heat. And if they don't for some reason, then we'll change something up and it won't be a big deal. But I think they're going to be fine with what I have planned. Skeeter is really nice with the chickens. He is a bird dog, you know, so you got to be a little bit careful. But, you know, every time I open the door, he just likes to get up and sniff them. You guys saw he was kind of barking at them last time, but I think he just wants to go in there and play with them. But I've never seen him act aggressively towards them. But he is a bird dog, so I do keep a close eye on him, of course. I wouldn't let anything happen. But he just sniffs them. He doesn't ever act aggressive towards them. Well, I finally decided it was time to stain the bathhouse / shed. It'll be the same color as the cabin. The chicken coop will be the same color as well. I want all stick frame buildings to match. I want them all to be the same color. And then the log cabin workshop I'm going to be building this fall / early winter, that will be natural wood. And then I also want to build a sauna out of logs as well. So the log buildings will all match, and then the stick frame buildings will all match. Even the chickens are going to be in style too. A lot of people are wondering why the woodshed is so far away. Well, the woodshed was originally going to go over here, and that was going to be my workshop, but decided to convert that into the woodshed because there was a lot of work that needed to be done to it. But that's also not far away at all. I don't know if it looks really far away on camera or what, but I can throw a ball from the porch and hit the woodshed. I mean, it's not that far. So it's not gonna be a big deal. And I am gonna keep a healthy supply of firewood right here on the porch because these chairs will get put in the shed or something, and then I'll have some sort of a lean-to here. So we'll have a good stack up on the porch. And then as I need it, I'll just go to the woodshed and bring it over in the sled. So I just did the math on the woodshed, the square footage here. I should be able to fit 8 cords of firewood in here. So I have 4 cords of wet wood in here right now. And a cord is 4 foot wide by 4 foot tall by 8 foot long. So I should be able to fit roughly 4 more cords, 4 cords of dry wood in the front, stacked up to the ceiling. And then I have a cord of birch right here. There's some behind the shed too. And then I have, there's probably 2 or 3 cords laying back in here, but I'm kind of waiting to go get that stuff because it's been so hot. It's like 90 degrees and it's supposed to be 90 all week, so I'll just wait until fall when it's a little cooler to bring that stuff over because it's dry and ready to go. So we should be good. So again, I'll have 4 cords of dry wood in the front half here. The remaining firewood that I need for the winter will be stacked outside with a tarp on it. And then once I use up what's in the woodshed, I'll start filling it with wet stuff this winter. And then by the time, not this winter, but the next winter rolls around, then everything that's in the woodshed will be ready to burn. And I'll just grab from the back side first, since this stuff will be a little bit drier. sharp, but it's a lot sharper than it was. All right, well, I think I am done for the day. It is way too hot for bucking up firewood. So I'm just gonna, I'll wait till evening and split this up and get it put in the woodshed when it's a little bit cooler. But I gotta find something else to do. It's way too hot for this. A lot of people have been asking about the garden and why you guys haven't seen that. And let's just say if I was really proud of the garden, you'd be seeing a lot of it. The garden's pretty much a bust. It's been extremely dry in Minnesota here this year. Talking to a lot of older people, they say this is the driest they've ever seen it. We have wildfires popping up all over, not that far from here. It's been rough, especially when rainwater is, you know, what we're depending on for our water source. So it's been rough, but one little bit of success we've had, we will get some potatoes out of the garden though, and the onions were doing really well, but the deer ate them, and that's my fault because I didn't get a fence up. But the raised bed here has been doing good. This is obviously really small. This is like nothing, but this is the route that I want to go in the future. I want to build a bunch of raised beds this winter. It'll give me something to do while I'm not at the log cabin or in the Boundary Waters Wilderness, which I'll be spending some time there this winter as well, doing some really remote trips. But I just like the raised bed. It just seems like it's a lot easier to manage. So I'm going to build a lot of them out of logs next year or over the winter time, so they'll be ready for next year's garden. And have a pretty large scale raised bed operation going, and we'll just put that right where the garden is right now. But anyways, like I said, this is basically nothing, but since this was such a small scale thing here, we were able to manage this pretty well. But we just have limited water. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But this is all kind of Sierra's little herb thing she's got going on here. But this is basil, dill, and then she's got some spinach and salad and things here. But these all did well just because, like I said, we were able to stay on top of them. It doesn't take much to water this, so next year, hopefully we have a little bit more rain and can have better results with our garden. But I think the raised bed is going to be sweet. But I mean, this stuff, turned out really good, really flavorful, all this stuff. Lots of flavor. The spinach is bomb, the lettuce is good, but all this stuff turned out great. And I just like the raised beds, and you're not leaning over, bending over. I'll build them a nice height, and that's the way we're going to go, I think. After having the trail camera out for 3 nights in that first spot, I didn't catch anything, so I moved it to this spot here. And the first night out, I caught this deer. And then I got this deer, and it looks like they're pretty similar in size. It almost looks like the same deer, but I think they're 2 different deer because that first photo was at 5:05 a.m., and then this one's at 5:40 a.m., as you see there. And I'm allowed to shoot either sex, so I can take a buck or a doe, so those are both legal deer. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I know that video was kind of all over the place, kind of bouncing between a lot of different things, but we just have a lot of little things to accomplish around here now, so no real big projects, but I'm thinking next video is going to be this project here, getting this wood stove installed with the natural stone hearth, and I've been looking forward to that for a long time, so it'll be fun. And I should be starting that in the next couple days, so that video will be out next week sometime. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.